Good morning, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I hope audible. Please confirm with yes or no if I'm audible. Good to see the responses. I want to know who all are from the HR background and what are you expecting from the webinar. Please type in the chat box.
All right, very good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible. I am your other moderator for the day. Good to see the responses, guys. It is very motivating to see all the responses already. We have a strong attendance number as well today. Thank you all for joining us on a Wednesday evening. It's not one of the best days to join and have a webinar, but thank you all for attending. Now, I see a good number of responses, also some repeat attendees as well. Colonel Hari Prasad, sir, I definitely remember his name. Is there any novel approach in HR? I think the questions can keep coming. We'll definitely take them up as we go on. Good number of responses, definitely. Now, if there's any sort of audio disruption in between, please let us know. But we are ready to go in about 2 minutes. I know we are a little already delayed, but thank you all for your patience. We'll start in about 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pawan Kumar Sahu and I handle product marketing at WebSol. I'll be your moderator for the day. Along with me, we have Siddharth also. I'd like to give a small introduction about my company that I represent. Websol was in fact a part of Wipro back in the days. We were in fact a printer manufacturing division of Wipro, and we are specialized in dot matrix printer category. Over the years, the company decided to step out of Wipro to form a separate entity itself in the name of Web Solutions. Our signature offering, managed print services, was carried out forward to over 2 decades, and with evolving needs and changing market trends, we decided to bring in digital workplace solutions to our portfolio. With this addition, we expanded our product and services portfolio to cater mass markets. Over the years, we have also collaborated with market giants like Ricoh, Fujifilm, etc. I'd like to mention one of the milestone in our journey that we underwent complete brand refresh with the name of Websol. I'd like to highlight a few of the company's highlights. We have over 20 years of industry experience with over 500 plus enterprise customers. We are present in 2000 plus service locations. And in fact, we also awarded as Best DMS Solution of the Year in 2022. You can see some of our trusted clients like HDFC, Metro, Tata Capital, etc. I'll quickly run through our services portfolio. FluidWorks is our intelligence workplace suite catering to wide range of interdepartmental functions. We have a gamut of offerings under FluidWork, which I will explain in the upcoming slide. Fluid Pro is our managed IT services portfolio, wherein we offer infrastructure consulting services, cybersecurity solutions, remote monitoring and management. We also offer services for your entire end-to-end IT infrastructure. We have a dedicated NOC facility for 24-hour support as well as headquartered in Bangalore. Moving on, Fluid Print, our signature offering. Here, we offer comprehensive print infrastructure solutions tailored to custom requirements. We offer both CapEx and OpEx models, and we charge the customer on pay per print basis. We are number one in India in this part, in fluid print services. Now, in order to monitor assets across your organizations, we need a tool which can take care of all your assets. Fluid Map gives you an eagle eye view of all the assets in your network and will show key parameters of such like uptime, downtime, toner or cartridge levels, etc. Fluid Trail is our process automation solution, which can also offer a state-of-the-art document repository hosted by Azure Cloud, which is from Microsoft. We also offer on-premise setup. We have ready-to-go use cases for various departments like HR, procurement, legal, etc. We have an automation for employee records management, candidate onboarding, attendance management, procure to pay, etc. We also offer a managed GST solutions, which is one-stop solution for filing, reconciliation, e-invoice, e-bill automation, etc., which is supported by most of the ERPs, SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, etc. We also have presence in retail end, and we offer POS solutions catering to mass markets. If anyone wants to know more about our signature offering Fluid Trail, they can activate the poll that I'm going to activate now, so that my team will reach them. My team will reach them, and they'll offer a free demo for Fluid Trail, which is a HR automation solution. The demo which will include all the automations that you can organize in your organization for related to HR. You can automate all the HR processes through Fluid Trail. So if anyone wants to anyone wants my team to reach out to them to have a free demo, they can click on S in the demo poll. With that, I would like to introduce our speaker of the day, Mr. Avinash Tyagi. Avinash brings with 25 plus years of experience extending to HR, strategic HR, business restructuring, performance management, global recruitment, etc. With implementation of his areas of expertise, he has roles as country HR head, manager roles in various industry verticals. He also have he is also a full-time professor at Doon's Business School at Dehradun. I take a great pride to introducing him on yet another webinar with us today. I'm sure the audience is looking forward to directly hearing from Sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for introducing me, Pawan.
Thank you,
It's a
sir.
pleasure to meet all of you, all the participants. I welcome all of you here. And now let's try to explore the MBTI and its application. So MBTI is a basic principle which we'll be using, and we'll try to see that how we can use it to the best of our benefit. Next slide, please. All right. So usually the questions that I asked with some of the participants that, okay, what is the use of MBTI? How it is different from other psychometric tests which are available in the market, and how we can use it, what the challenges of using MBTI. So that we all will be discussing in due course of time. To begin with, let's try to understand what MBTI exactly is. Next slide, please. All right. So I will request the participant to try to attempt a bit of quiz, you may say. So it is very well said that try your trade before trying. So what would come in the, can you fill in the blanks here? Try your trade before trying dash. You can just type so that I can see what is coming on the top of your mind. So this term is very, very commonly used actually. One of the organizations has trademarked this phrase, try your trades before you. Am I audible to all of you?
Audience, can you confirm Sir is audible or not in the chat box? Yes, sir, I think you're audible. Maybe
No problem, sir.
Kapil Gupta.
Yeah,
Kapil Gupta, you should raise your volume so that you can hear, sir.
okay,
Over to you, sir.
so, right. So I'm trying to hold this closer to my mouth, the mic. Right. So again, let me ask you. So what is the how you will fill in the blanks? Try your trades before trying dash. So you may guess also. So I'm not getting any response. Luck, right? Okay. Aji Sharma is saying that, okay, try your trades before trying luck. Judgment. Okay. And Mukherjee is saying judgment. So I will request participant to try to rhyme it. So try your trades before trying your fate. Right? Trick. Okay. Right. So faith. It is fate actually. So it is said that before we try our trades, we should try what are our traits. Before we try our trades, we should try our trades before trying our fate. So it is very important that we should be aware of our traits before we decide our fate, because traits will help us in coming or deciding our fate to a great extent. It influences the fate to a great extent. So we'll explore all this thing in the due course of time. So first we have to understand ourselves and how we differ from other people. So if we are not are aware how we are differ from other people, if you're not aware of our traits, it is very difficult to first understand ourselves and to understand others. right? So I was listening to an expert in MBTI, and I really like what he said. He was comparing, he was giving an example that, okay, he had employed a gardener to take care of his garden. So he did an interview, and the gardener was actually a farmer from rural background, and he was farming. So he was convinced that this guy understand agriculture, so he employed him in his garden. But to his surprise, the flowers were not blooming as it was expected. So he had got different variety of flowers in his garden. So prior to this farmer which he deployed, so the other gardener was very adept, and the farm the garden was always blooming with the different type of flowers. So when he examined, when he understood, when he asked and inquired this farmer, then he understood that the farmer was in habit of cultivating only one type of crop at a given point of time, and he is not paying attention to various intricacies which are involved in growing different type of flowers. So every flower will require different type of fertilizer, different type of watering, the interval of watering, the location has to be different, and so there are different complications required. So the flowers will bloom based on their types. So now imagine that you are a leader or you are a manager in your organization, and you are using the same technique on all your employees. So I will not say that the employees will not grow. So they will exist, but I'm sure they will not be able to thrive. So there is difference between surviving and thriving, right? So we all are surviving, but there are not many who are just thriving. So you will see plenty of the employees in your organization who are there, who are working okay. They just survive in their job. When you ask them, "How are you?" So many times they comically or in a sarcastic way say they're just surviving, right? But there would be certain employees who are usually blooming in this organization. They're thriving there. So what are the reasons? So one reason could be the job they are into that is not suiting their type of personality. So if I have, for example, a desert plant, and somehow you put me in a maybe in a mountain, near a mountain, the conditions may not be appropriate for me. I may not perish. I may be there, but I may not bloom to my fullest extent. So this was the context I wanted to build. So it is very important that we understand what are the types of people, type of personality we have in our team, and before that, we also have to understand what is our type, right? So Myers-Briggs type indicator is a very good idea, very good tool which can be used and for this exercise. So let's try to understand what it is exactly. It is a self-report inventory. So it is self-report, right? So it's not like that I can identify what is your personality. You need to identify what is your personality. Even I'm a certified MBTI practitioner, but the training we received is that no, I cannot force my thought on you. You will take a test, and the final confirmation is from you. You will say that, okay, this is my personality, right? So it is self-report inventory designed to identify your personal types, strength, and preferences. So the important word here is preferences, which will delve in detail in coming slide. So just for academic purpose, it was developed by I.L. Myers and her mother, Catherine Briggs. So they were US citizens, and they based it out on a Carl Jung's theory. So although he was Swiss national, so in Swiss they write is at a Jung, but usually it was pronounced as Jung or Jung. So MBTI was actually based on Carl Jung theory of personality types. Next slide, please. Right. So it is a world widely used instrument, and they say that okay, there are 60 years had been no had passed where people have been using it across the globe, right? And it is true that some of the participants pointed out that its application in Eastern culture is usually was not there earlier, because it is usually based on the Western secular Western setup, right? But You will be happy to know that in India also it is very, very widely used, and I can name some of the companies which I know definitely because I work and I know the people there. TCS, Wipro, and Infosys are using it extensively for their team building and leadership development programs. Right. Next slide, please. So this is the one of the pillars, one of the core slides, which so I would like to spend some time here. Once we understand this, then possibly we can go through very, very swiftly on other slides. So MBTI is it has got type of dichotomies. So there are pair of preferences. So there are four type of dichotomies. So it is dichotomy means yes or no type. Either you are there or you're not there. So you cannot be like 50-50, right? So the four type of dichotomies we determine in MBTI is, number one is, where do I prefer to get and focus my attention and energy? So how do I derive my energy? How do I energize myself? Right? So there are two types of it. Some people will have the extraversion. Some people will have the introversion. So we use E for extraversion and I for introversion. Right? So how do you derive energy? Extroversion, some people will have, some people will have introversion. So you will say that no, sometime I do extra, sometime I'm extroversion, sometime I'm introversion. So I will not say you are wrong, right? It is clear and you are factually correct. That sometimes we derive energy from outside, sometimes we derive energy from inside. But what is more important here is, what is your preferred mode? So when we discuss MBTI, we have to always go for what is my preference, right? So for example, maybe a tortoise or turtle can be in land as well as water, but where it prefers to be there most of the time. A cow or buffalo can be in water as well as they can be in land, but where they prefer. Similarly, when we discuss the dichotomies here, so in certain maybe at 3% of time I am doing this, but mostly what I do is that I will say that, okay, this is my preferences. So first is, again I am repeating. So first is that, okay, from how do I derive energy? It is extraversion or introversion. Second is, how do I prefer to take the information? So we are living in a world, so there are we have to always gather a lot of information, right? So do I gather information by sensing, by using my senses, or I gather by information by my intuition, right? So if some people who are gathering information from by sensing, so we name them as S, we denote them as S, and people who derive information by intuition, so we put them as N. So usually people ask that, okay, intuition, the alphabet begins from I. So here because I is already taken by introversion I. So here to uh, remove the confusion, so intuition is denoted here by N. So introversion is I and intuition is N. So based on that, we will type. We will say that, okay, this person is S or the person is N. Similarly, now how do I prefer to process the information to make a decision? How do I arrive to a particular decision? It could be by using facts, by thinking, or it could be based on my emotions or my feeling. So if I am coming to arriving at particular decision based on thinking, so I say that my type is T. If the process of coming to a decision is to feeling, then I say that I am F type. Don't worry. So we will be discussing each type in detail, and I will pull up a lot of examples so that all the types are clear 100%. So we are just trying to build the context here so that it becomes easy for us. So the four type of dichotomies we use in MBTI is the how do I prefer to deal with my world around me. So what is my lifestyle? So my lifestyle is by judging whatever is around me, or I just perceive things and carry on. So if I am I prefer to judge, or the world around me, or my lifestyle is more of judging. So you will be using J, and in other case, if it is perceiving, then we'll be using P, right? Don't worry too much if you are not able to understand it completely, because I will be repeating again and again. When you understand this thing with examples, so it will be very easy for you to comprehend and understand, and even train your people on this, right? So to repeat again, so MBTI, we have got 4 types of preferences. Number one, how do we derive energy? How do we take information? How do we make a decision? And how do we approach the world around us? What is our lifestyle type? Based on that, so you can be either E or I in case of energy, or you can be either S or N in case of information. You can be either T or F in case of decision, or you can be either J or P in case of lifestyle. Next slide, please. So based on that, we will come to a particular type. So these are the dichotomies. So when we say dichotomies, so first thing you have to understand, they are innate. Innate means, according to MBTI, according to Myers-Briggs, people are practitioners of this tool. They said it is inborn. So once you have this particular personality, so you will always be having this personality, right? So it is unlikely to change. It is not likely that, okay, you had some personality maybe at 20 years of age, and after having lots of experience in the world, your personality may change. Your preference will always remain as it was earlier. So there are less chances of changing your preferences. Based on these dichotomies, you will be interacting with and around the world, right? So the preferences, as I said again, it will not change, and there is no preference is good or bad. So we cannot say that the particular preference is good or the particular preference is bad. All preferences are same. So for example, it is not wise for me to say that rose is better and the lotus is not, rose is better than what you say, lotus, or apple is better than orange. So every particular type has got its own beauty, right? So we cannot say that this type is good or this type is bad. Based on that, we have understood the dichotomies, how they are derived, and now we'll see more in details all these dichotomies one by one. I hope I am making sense and you are able to understand what I am trying to say. Right. Next slide, please. Now let's try to understand the direction we focus or how we gather our information and our energy, extroversion and introversion. So this is a very, very widely used term, and I'm sure you must have seen this also, extroversion and introversion, right? So for example, there are some people who will keep on talking, and sometimes you wish that, okay, you had a mute button and you could mute these people, right? So they will speak, then think, and they will speak. So we always come across such people, and there would be certain people who will think, then they will take a lot of time, then they will speak, then again they will go into thinking mode. So you are certain times like puzzle, why these people, they are not speaking much, why they are taking so much time to think, right? So the people who derive energy, they are who are extroversion, they will derive energy from the outer world. So they say that, okay, if I am deriving energy which is outside my skin, then I am into extroversion. If my you can label me as extroversion. If I am deriving energy within me, then you can label me as introversion, right? So extroversion people, they will always appear friendly and they are open. They are very expressive. They like energetic environment, so you will find them plenty in clubs, dancing, and a loud music. So they love to be in the crowd. The crowd energizes them, right? Whereas in case of introversion, they can appear quiet and reserved, right? They are contained. Whereas if an extroversion person will have, so he will tell the world, everybody, or that they have a problem or what they are thinking. So they prefer to do it, although in modern world, because they also learn to control their extroversion. That's a different story. But given a chance, they will love to tell everybody that what they are thinking and what is the problem they are having. Even in the personal life, they will love to share it. But in case of introversion, it's not like that. They would like to keep the matters to themselves. Next slide. Right. So I would like you to spend maybe few seconds here and try to see the common E and I behaviors, extroversion behavior and extroversion as well as introversion behavior. Right. And when you are thinking of this, then you also try to relate to yourself and what is your preferred way. So again, I am saying there is nothing, not one type is better, not other type is bad. So both the types are good enough, but it is very, very important that we understand ourselves. Okay. What is my personality? Do I prefer extroversion or do I prefer introversion? Next slide, please. So here is a cartoon. So here, imagine there are two type of personalities in EVs we have. So what an extroversion car will say to introversion car? Right. So extroversion person, they will charge themselves. You just leave them in a crowd because they will chat to some people, talk to the people around them, and then they will get charged. Whereas for introversion, they need to get charged. They want to be left alone and they will recharge themselves. Next slide, please. Right. So I will like you to spend maybe a few seconds and assess yourself and type in the comment box here. What do you think is your own type? Having understood the basics of it, do you think that okay, the type is more towards extroversion or more to introversion? Please understand one thing. It is what is a preferable mode. It's not like that. Okay, always you will be having extroversion or introversion. Right. Bridge balanced with not a right way here. Actually, there would be one preference. So according to MBTI, you cannot be both. You cannot be balanced. So one thing would be more preference. Same is the ECTA also, right? You have to examine yourself, think more about it. There would be definitely you would be more inclined toward extroversion, or maybe you would be more inclined to introversion. There was one preferred. This is the basic principle of MBTI. MBTI, you cannot say that I am both, right? Yeah, definitely it would happen that sometimes maybe we think that we are extroversion, but when we closely examine, it may happen that no, you are your preference introversion or the other way around. Other thing you will also note here, which always happen when I do this exercise, the first few people who come up with their answer, they are usually extroversion. Their preference mode is extroversion. Right? The same thing happened in this webinar also, right? So I'm not saying it is right or wrong. So, but I'm just giving an example. But extroversion people, they are quick. They are quick to examine and they will just share their opinion. Whereas people who are introversion, they will take time, think, and they say, okay, should I tell or not? And then they will type. Even when you are conducting a workshop, then I will take you through the step-wise process how we do it. So there also it is very important that you have to get the involvement of both type of personality which you'll have in the group, extroversion or introversion. Ambivert is both the way. So this is a new term being used in MBTI. But if you say the founding members or the fathers or the gurus of MBTI, they don't believe in this. They say that either you are right. So I'm very happy with the participation the energy level of the group. So now we have understood one dichotomy, E and I. Now let's try to dissect and let's try to understand the second type. So we have to cover four. So one is already true, 25% is true. And if we are able to understand first one, then the understanding others becomes slightly easier. Right. Next slide, please. Now coming to display the full slide. Now coming to the next sensing and judging. Right. So there are some people whose preference is sensing and some people whose preference is judging. How do you get the information? So they say that we have got five senses. Some people will love to use all the senses to come to gather information, right? So they are like human Google Maps. They want precise information, right? Exactly. So if you are so like human Google Maps, they want full details of it. Whereas the people who believe in intuition, they are actually they will get information by gut feeling, right? So they will have, for example, like pirates, they will have a treasure map, and they will know that basic direction. They will know, and they will say the rest will find it out, right? So people who prefer sensing, they are more realistic and they depend on they gather information. They want facts, right? And some people who are intuitive, they think about a bigger picture. They discuss about abstract theory. They will talk big things and know how the world is going, where it's going, right? So they want love to discuss. They love to come with a lot of theories and come into intuition, right? Whereas in case of people who prefer sensing, they are good at focusing on facts and details. They are pragmatic problem solvers, right? So a person who they are very good in problem solving. Give them facts and they will come to a conclusion. Whereas people who are in intuition, they want to always, they are change agents. They want to change the world. They want improvement. So they will, person who will prefer sensing will say that, okay, yeah, this is a problem. There a lot of pollution is there and this and that. Then they will quote the AQI figure and they will put a lot of figures. They will have a lot of facts in this. But whereas a person who will believe in intuition, he will preferably, he will say that, okay, that there's a huge pollution and it is very bad. So let's try to do something. Let's try to, have a movement against tree cutting, deforestation. Let's try to do the plantation and all these things. So they will think about the bigger picture and they will, for them, for example, AQI level is 80 or 100. It will not make much of difference to them, right? Or it is 100 to 150. But for them, it is important to understand that, okay, there is a pollution, then we have to do something. Whereas in case of sensing, they will monitor, they will say that, okay, today the pollution level is 10 points higher than yesterday. And you will not be surprised, they will even know what was happening last year also, right? Sensing people, they usually will favor conventional approaches. They will usually not innovate. They are happy with what the things are, right? Whereas the people who believe in intuition, was preferred way of gathering information in intuition, they are usually they are more drawn to innovation. They want to innovate things. Sensing people, they will have ground reality. They are on ground usually, whereas intuitive people, they will have a strategic outlook, right? So again, like they will go step by step, then they will come to conclusion. Whereas intuition, they will come to the conclusion direct. Next slide, please. So I will give you a few seconds to read the slide on your own. These are the common behaviors which people with sensing or people with intuition will usually have. Right. Okay, so these are the common behavior of people with sensing and intuition, right? So it is very confusing for the people who have got S type to understand the people with I type. So they will ask for all the details, and people who are I type, they will always worry that, okay, yeah, I am telling you that this is going to happen. Why you want all the details? They will jump to a conclusion. So this is depicted in the next cartoon. We are, I pulled it up. So next slide, please. Yes, intuition is more of a gut feeling, Mr. Ayaredi. Yes. So if you are gathering information, you just see a bit of it, and then you take a what you call the leap of faith. Then you are towards intuition. But if you are not, if you are thinking 10 times before taking a leap of faith, then your type is S. So here, can you guess which type of the person is who has written this formula? Is it S or I? Yes, it is sensing. It is, sorry, not it is N. Intuition is N, sorry, S or N. It is intuitive because then he is not going stepwise. He is just jumping to a conclusion. That's why it is sensing. Right. Sonam Sharma, it is N actually. Right. So this is usually when you begin dwelling in the MBTI, we usually get confused. This is a very common error we do it. I is reserved for introversion, E and I, and because intuition also is with I, so they are using N, so that there is no confusion between two I's. Right? You are correct actually. So I got your intention that you want to say it's intuition. People who are more intuitive will jump to conclusion like this. Now let's try to understand. I will like you to think yourself. Again, I will repeat here in MBTI, it is the preference. It is the preferred way. It is not always, right? So sometimes it doesn't mean that, okay, people who are intuitive will not look at the price and when they go to the mall, right? So they will definitely look at the price, but many times they will end up buying a costly product because the salesman was very nice or the service was excellent. So they will not always go by this. They will many times purchase things based on feeling. So can we have next slide, please? A quick check. Am I audible? One of the participants is not able to hear me, so that's why I'm asking.
Yes, sir. You are audible. Sir, can we launch a quick poll, sir?
Yes, please. Sir.
Audience, I would like to launch a poll. You can see a poll on your screen. What is the key benefit of using MBTI for team building? Assigning tasks based on IQ, promoting diversity and understanding within the team, ensuring everyone has the same work style, creating a hierarchical team structure. Audience, you can click on the correct answer in the poll box. I can see majority of the answers going towards the same option. Audience, we need your participation. Please click the answer in the poll box. Sir, any comments on the answer, sir?
Pawan, you need to help me here. I'm not able to see the poll result actually.
Okay, I'll share the screen, sir. Can you be able to see, sir? No?
Yes, yes. All right. So well done, audience. So I'm very happy. So I'm not saying that the other people who were not marked the correct answer are wrong totally. But I will say I will prefer to say that, okay, it is promoting diversity and understanding within the team. So that would be the key benefit of using MBTI, right? So definitely it gives us a clear picture and it also tells me that okay, how I need to go with this presentation, right? It's very good that okay, no, those people who are not given the so-called right answer. It's very good because it is giving us a clear indication of what we need to cover also. Right, the MBTI is not a measure of IQ, so this is very clear. Again, I want to re-emphasize, we are not measuring IQ with this MBTI, right? And it is more of a developmental tool. We need to understand, right?
Thank you, sir.
Right. Exactly. IRAD is saying very correctly. It is knowing self and others, like life itself. So I
You
would like
can
you to type here. Okay, just do a self-assessment, please, and see. Just indicate here which is your preference. What do you prefer? Not always, but most of the time. Right. So you may sometimes need a more of a self introspection to come to it, right? Based on which you how you come to how you gather information. Very nice. Right. So based on this, we are trying to understand. So I'm happy that you people are able to come to some conclusion. So I cannot say for surety that okay, what the conclusion you're coming now is 100% correct. We need to check it and we need to recheck it. Right. Next slide, please. Right. So this is the cartoon we missed. So there would be some people who will be like, they will say they are, no, just come to the point. Other people, they will ask, how is the baby, how is the mother doing, and all these things. Right. So the people who do this, they are more into, they want to prefer feeling over the sensing. Yes. Next slide, please. So I think we have to go one slide earlier. One.
yes, sir.
Go back. Okay, go forward. Next slide.
This is the next slide, sir.
Okay. Right. So I think there is some confusion here. Okay. So can you go to? Okay. No problem. So without a slide, I will try to cover this. T and F, thinking and feeling. So this is about how we come to a decision making. First thing is we have seen number one, how do we derive energy? So in that we understood E or I, introversion or extroversion. Second, we understood how we prefer to gather information. In that, we understood it is sensing or intuition. Now we come to the third dichotomy. How do we come to a decision? So some people, they will come to decision. For that they need a lot of facts, right? They will not, they want to go to at a granular level, and then they will come to the conclusion, right? They will whereas some people, they will take decision most of based on the feeling, right? Like the example I was giving earlier also is applicable here, that okay, many times I will purchase things, I will not see the texture, I will not ask the quality of what type of cloth it is. I will go and say that okay, in a mall I see this apparel and I find this apparel attractive for me or for my family, so I will purchase it. It is more on a feeling, right? But some people, they will just have a feel of it. They will check and they will ask what type of cloth it is, and they will ask 10 questions, right? It is dyed, organic, this and that. So they are coming to a conclusion based on a particular uh, by gathering a lot of information, right? Whereas some people they will just uh, take this the based on the information, there's a feeling they will take a decision, right? So this is different. Next slide, please. So we'll see this in detail, right? So what are the common behaviors of people who are into thinking and who are into feeling, right? People who are into thinking, they will act cooler, they will be more distant, they want only facts. They may seem blunt and tactless. Sometimes the people with the F preference, they will find that the people with the T preference or thinking, they are very blunt and tactless. Right. For example, a person with the T preference will say that, okay, somehow we have to take this decision, and so we will, withdraw this benefit given to our employees. He will say, as a matter of fact, plainly and bluntly. Whereas a person with the very high, with the feeling as a preference will always think about, okay, how it's going to impact the morale of the employees. He will think about moral of that. I remember a case in my career earlier. So it was a very interesting case. So we had one of the managers, store managers of a retail outlet. It was a huge outlet, and we had a staff entry. So definitely that time, we gave instruction to everyone that, okay, we need to control cost. So the person, what he did was, possibly he started counting the disposable cup kept in the pantry and how many cups are getting used. And then he used to raise hue and cry that, okay, why you are having tea 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. So he was counting at the end of the shift the number of the disposable the cups in the dustbin. So at so this was an extreme case. So that's why I remember. So definitely I understood this is the guy who is was having was showing a thinking behavior. He has got predominantly very thinking behavior. He was just wanted to control the cost. He was not bothered about feeling of anything. He just because the mandate was given to him to control the cost, and he was doing it. So such people are tough-minded. For them, it is justice is equal treatment for all. They want to give treatment for treatment for all. This we'll see in the next slide. So this is a case I put in, wherein how a person with thinking will say think and how the person is feeling it. So in nutshell, we can say that, okay, when you base your decision based on facts, hard facts, then you are T type. If you are taking decision usually on F type, you are on feelings, then you are F type, right? A feeling person will, as they say, they engage in the small talk first, right? They love to take the first name so that the person is more comfortable. Other guy will just directly and bluntly uh, come to the talk. They will not even take your name, right? So this is how the difference between T and F. Next slide, please. So I will request you to spend maybe a couple of minutes in reading both the scenario, both the point of views here. So I'm not saying one point of view is better or which one is better, which one is not good enough. Yeah, Ms. Sudha, I will come to your query. Right. So participants, are you through with this, both the POVs? Right.
I think it's really interesting to see that the audience are actually, putting themselves into perspective and seeing what POV works, which is a
Yes,
good
yes,
thing,
yes. Yes, yes.
definitely.
And I'm very happy to see the divergent views here, right? So that's the world is made of different, no, different type of people.
Absolutely, sir. Yeah, no doubt.
Yes. Right. So exactly in POV, it is more of a like POV one. So he is thinking about various consequences. So it is more of feeling type, whereas POV two is thinking type. Right. So I am not again I re-emphasize. Ms. Sudha is saying depends on impact it can have. Right. You are right. In certain scenario and based on certain culture of your organization, you will take a particular type of decision. But my question to you, Ms. Sudha, is what you will prefer given a chance, right? So it may happen that, okay, again, she has raised a very good point. So let me explore this point also. For example, I am a very feeling person, right? And I am working in an organization where people they don't value feelings much, right? They they will take decision only on facts. So I will work in my organization definitely because I know I have to bring food on the table for my family. But do you think I will be thriving there? I will not enjoy working there because the type, my type is not fitting with the type of the organization, right? So, for example, I remember a case when no, I was discussing with the subject of international HRM. So here the case is that okay, there was one French lady who was deputed in Germany, and she received a uh, message that her mother expired. She was in the office at that point of time, and then she started, weeping. It's like but natural because it was a very sad information. But to her surprise, the Germans around her they were like very for her they were very insensitive. Nobody came and tried to sympathize with her, and rather they were feeling that okay, it was inappropriate for her to cry publicly, right? So this is one example, right? So when you are a feeling type and the organization is taking a decision which is not respecting feeling, then possibly you will not be very comfortable. It could be the way around, right? You could be a thinking type, and you are in an organization where people are taking decision based on emotions and more of feeling, less on the facts. Then you will also feel not very comfortable there. You will not thrive here. So this is the beauty of understanding the various concept of it. Right, IRAD, okay. I will not say yes or no, but yes, this is majorly you are correct. Right. Next slide, please. So again, we'll spend 30 seconds and then possibly I'll request you to just make your own assessment. Then we'll go to next slide, last slide. Right. So here also, like my practices in other group also. Here also, I'm finding most of the uh, most of the ladies they in universally earlier were having more of F and less of T, but nowadays this is also changing, right? So again, it says that okay, there are some changes happening in our DNA as well, right? Okay, next slide, please. So we'll come to the last dichotomies. Next slide, please. All right. So this is about how we manage our lifestyle. So judging people are very organized and planful, whereas pursuing people are spontaneous and flexible. All right. Judging person would be ready with his plan So at 8 o'clock in the morning, he will be very clear what is going to do throughout his day, mostly. Whereas people with perceiving high P, even by 3 p.m., they will not get find many times to have their lunch also. So they will not plan properly, and they will just jump into the work and get it going. So judging people, they prefer to have a joy of closure. They want to close it. Whereas the pursuing people, they want to have the joy of process, right? So judging people, they love to reach to the destination, whereas pursuing people, they will enjoy the travel, right? The journey towards the destination. In case of judging, they want the external world to be organized and orderly. They want everything to be properly done and everything perfect, right? Whereas in case it's not so in case of people whose preference is perceiving. They seek to experience the world, right? They just want to enjoy the way the world, how whatever way it is. Similarly, they are impatient. Judging people are impatient with unplanned and foreseen, whereas it is okay for people who are perceiving, right? They want to keep taking the information and make the best decision, right? Next slide, please. Right. So as I told earlier, the people with high J will finish work and then play, whereas the people with high P will play while they're working. The people with judgmental, they don't want to waste their time, so they want for them the finishing work is a more priority. Whereas the people with P as a preference, they want to enjoy the process. Next slide. So I will request you to do a self-assessment. So are you J or P? Right. So happy to see your divergent view here also. Can you go to next slide, please?
Sir, can we launch a LinkedIn poll?
Yes, please.
Audience, we have a live poll in LinkedIn. I will paste the direct link. In the chat box, you can directly go through that link, and through LinkedIn, you can answer the question.
Audience, so I request all of you to take a look at your chat. We have a live LinkedIn poll running on our LinkedIn page right now. So I request all of you to click on that, and this will take you to your LinkedIn on your browser or phone, wherever that you're using right now. And I will just read out the question for you in the meantime, for those who are not able to see it. This is again based on today's topic itself. Which MBTI trait do you believe is most crucial for effective team leadership? There are four options: extraversion, intuition, thinking, and judging. I request all of you to take about a minute's time, and you can just quickly attend that and come back. Also, on a side note, audience, those of you who would like to see more of our HR-based content, be it blogs, engaging polls, or carousels, please feel free to follow us, give us a follow, and you will be able to see a whole lot more content in the coming days. Thank you. Oh, okay, Ms. Rupali says cannot open the link. Let me just share one more link, see if it's working. I hope it's not the same for the others, because I'm seeing a bunch of them who are actually able to attend the poll, but no problem. Let me just share a revised link to you. Just check this. Okay, I see Mr. Aya's comment. All right, noted, sir. Noted. I think, as a matter of fact, you are right. All four might just be important. Avinash sir, any comments on this?
Unfortunately, I'm not able to see it.
Right. You are not able to see the question. I'll just read it out for you, sir. Would that be fine?
Yeah. The question actually got it. So it is very complex answer. So I will tell you that okay,
Okay,
leaders
sure.
have a different personality, right? So you cannot say, but it is seen that people with a higher E extraversion, they are better leaders. So they say that preferably ESTJs are the best no type for a personality, but it doesn't mean that other type of personality cannot be no having it.
Sir, we
So
have typed question in the chat box, sir, for your reference.
yeah. So I will say that okay, it is ESTJ, extraversion, then sensing, then thinking and judging, right? So if you have this type, it is generally said, right? Maybe the research is more of Western origin, so that's how it is. But of late, we have seen people with, if I say that, okay, Mahatma Gandhi was INFP, right? So, so there's no one type is better or good, but this is the general research say that, okay, ESTJ is a more preferable personality for leadership, right? So a person who is an INFP or maybe some other personality, so you need to train your leadership on that, right? First, the leadership should identify his or her own trait, and then based on that they develop. Otherwise, the uh, INF introverted leadership will always be confused why people are talking so much. Once you tell them the type and when they understand their own personality and other personality, then they will be able to relate better to the team, right? Like the example I was giving of a gardener. So gardener should understand the different type of personality in his garden. Then accordingly he can take care of this different flowers. Right. Can we come back to this presentation now?
Yes, sir. Presentation is on, sir. Can you see
Right.
the slide?
Right.
Yeah.
So based on this all four type of dichotomies, you might have arrived at one of this type. So for example, so we decided an introversion, extroversion, right? So like this. So can you just for general understanding type here, what was the type you you arrived at for yourself? So for example, let me clarify again. So you chose extroversion, then first word is E. Right. Some people they're getting it. So you got it right. So based on that, you will come to your type of personality, and once you get a personality, then you can go and try understand more about this. Right. Okay. So now coming to the last part of the presentation. So having understood the MBTI, so now let's try to come to the how we'll use it. So I will try to give the stepwise process how we will use it in team building. Next slide, please. Next slide. Again, next slide. This we already covered. Next. Right. So to begin with, suppose you want to understand that, okay, you want to use MBTI based on team building. So what should be the first step? First step is definitely you will get the buy-in from your leadership. Once the leadership agrees and everybody agrees that you will do it, then you give the pre-assessment to all the team members. So it could be given maybe 3 or 4 days prior to it. I will share the website from where you can do it. It is not exactly MBTI, but it is loosely based on MBTI. So these are the free tools which are available. So if you really want to do in a more scientific and proper way, then you can visit the proper website. In India, it is run by anahar.in. So there you can go and purchase the tool, etc. for it, right? Or otherwise, you can go with the the website which I will be sharing at the end of the workshop. So they will not exactly, again I'm re-emphasizing, not exactly on MBTI but loosely based on MBTI, right? So once all the people are aware of their own type, then you call them at for a workshop, and then you again take them through the basics of dichotomies. You explain them all these four dichotomies. You spend some time, maybe 1 hour or 1 to 2 hours, right? It's better to spend more time in the basics of it so that people they understand it. So after understanding the uh, basics of MBTI, then you ask people to correlate their own type with the whatever they understood. Second, that what you do is you can then you can divide the team into two teams. So we will go dichotomy wise. For example, for extroversion and introversion, so you will say that okay, all people who are E can be in one side of the room, and other people who are I can be on other side of the room, right? So similar people for one dichotomy are in one side, and other similar people in other dichotomy is other side of the room. Now you ask one of the group, so that okay, what difficulties do you face when you face people with I, or the people with I? You again ask the same question: what possible challenges you face when you are dealing with people with E? So there would be some straightforward answers. There would be some no diplomatic answer. But the idea here is you should encourage people to be open so that they understand each other. And you have to tell a disclaimer that nobody is going to hold anything, whatever you say in this workshop. Right. Having said that, you will find that okay, the group E will be the first to jump, and they will give all this their feelings. They will share this. The challenge here lies with the in persuading I. Right. In certain workshop, I found that people with I they were not very open. Then what you can do is possibly you can give them option. If they want, they can write the points and then possibly share that maybe chart or maybe something like that, or one of them can come and read it out. So it helps in cases of people with I, right? I'm just sharing some of the challenges which you may face initially. So the discussion usually is very interesting. It goes maybe from 30 to maybe 1 hour, depending on the type of the number of people in the workshop and the energy in the room. And when they understand each other, then by sharing this, then you ask further questions. You ask probing questions. So what do you think they should do to be more adaptable? If you have to work in team with ease, then what I should do, means I type should do. Then they will share their thoughts and feelings, etc. So what's happening here? We try to building an awareness among the team members, right? So E types are telling openly what they expect from I types, and I types are also telling that what they expect from E types. And also they are telling that okay, if you want to get work done from us, our type, what you should do. So when the discussion happens in a room, so it becomes very, very interesting, and the learning is uh, uh, very it's of the next level. Similarly, then first dichotomy is done. Then what do? Then you call the second dichotomy. Then you said okay, people with S one side and people with N other side. So you will be surprised to say that many times you were the people in E group. So some of them will go to the other group. So there is not. It is very rare that you will always have the same group, right? So maybe some people will jump from this group to that group because dichotomies they vary on different dichotomies. There again you repeat the same process. You again ask people with S. Okay, so tell what is the most challenging you find in people with N, right? And what people with N should do, with N type should do, so that you can work them better. Similarly, you ask the same question to other type. So when this discussion is happening, so you can have one of the person, or if you are, if you yourself can do it, you can keep on making notes. Maybe it could be a chart, or it could be a a banner, whatever way you feel is possible. It could be maybe a blank slide of PPT. keep on entering and this the summary of it, main point, right? So maybe there would be some certain example from their own organization. There could be some from different organizations. It may happen. As one of the, I think Mr. Reddy was saying earlier that, okay, sales people are usually the particular type or that type. So that's correct. You may find that, okay, people from maybe sales or marketing, they are more high on extroversion, right? So if you are doing department, if you have got mixed people from different departments, it may happen that certain group have majority people from particular department, right? So this, based on your experience, you will understand that, okay, certain domain people will be having higher F, some certain domain people will be having higher no J, like this. So like this, you conduct, you make 4 groups, and the workshop is usually will take a day. So you have to maybe allocate a day. My request is don't rush through it, because once you have this workshop, it is the bonding after this and after that, during this session and after that is fantastic, right? So your work will not stop after it. After that, you have to do follow-up, gather feedback, and you have to continuously start, hand-holding people. Many times, especially certain personalities, they will not ask you openly. Then they may approach you in your office, or maybe wherever they find it's comfortable to speak to you. Based on that, then you can do hand-holding and you can explain this all the people. So by this becomes uh, very enriching exercise for everybody. Right. Next slide, please. Right. So Mr. IRD is asking, yes, primary and secondary role based on MBTI. Yes, this I will say 100% yes. It will be improper for you to put a person with I on a maybe help desk or customer facing role, because he is having introversion. So I'm not saying that he will not be able to do it successfully, but he will be able to do it. He will do it with a lot of stress. So again, the same example, if I am not given an environment where I can survive, or which is my preference, so I will exist in that environment, but I will not thrive. So based on the personality, it is better you can designate people in different primary or secondary roles, right? Next slide, please. Right, this is all we have discussed earlier. So you will find that similar types are quicker to understand each other, and different types are usually slower. Again, we have to understand as a HR professional that, okay, if we have got all the people in the same group with the same type, or if you are having a project and you are having all the people with the same personality, what will happen? They say that there will be an echo in the room, that everybody saying repeating the same thing, right? So it's of no use, right? So you should have some people who will be having a descending voice, a different personality, they think in a different way. So although definitely when we have got disagreement in a group, so the group may progress slowly, but definitely the result would be fantastic. So if you have got the group with the same personality, there would be zero or very less conflict. But we are not here to avoid conflict at the cost of the performance. If they are coming to a wrong decision, so it may cost to the organization very bad. Right, next slide, please. So this is the mind map of it. I think we have covered all the points. So now we can go with Q&A. These are the 2 websites. Please note, you can use this website. These tools are free to use. 16percent.com and humanmetrics.com. So if you do it, they will give you result very fast, and you can use that tool and possibly explore yourself and your team members. So in case you want to do a workshop, you may use these tools. These are free to use websites.
Okay, audience, before going to Q&A session, I would to launch a quick poll. You can see the poll on your screens. Which MBTI dichotomy refers to how individuals gain energy? Thinking versus feeling, sensing versus intuition, judging versus perceiving, extroversion versus introversion. Please type your answers in the poll box, audience. I can see majority of the answers are going towards same option. And participation also very good. Audience, please type your answers in the poll box. Okay, I'm going to end the poll in 5 seconds. Sir, any comments on this, sir? Obviously, the answer was mentioned earlier in the webinar.
Yes. Extroversion versus introversion, right?
Introversion, yes.
Right? Okay. So I'm open to Q&As.
Yes, sir. Can we take questions from the chat box, sir, first?
Okay.
Can we assign primary and secondary roles based on MBTI to explore full potential of team member with mutual acceptance?
Yes, sir. This I already explained. It is better to I give examples also. It is advisable.
Okay, sir. I think there is this much the Q&A chat box. We can move on to Q&A section.
Okay, audience, if you wish to, you can type here again.
Audience, and if anyone wants to directly ask questions to the sir, you can raise your hand so that we can connect directly with the sir and we'll allow you to talk. You can raise your hand in the options below so that we'll allow you to talk in the mic. Okay, I think Raj Sharma wants to ask some questions, sir. Raj Sharma, I allowed you to talk. You can unmute your mic and you can talk. Yes, Raj Sharma.
He's not having
Mr.
any
Raj
question.
Sharma, you can talk now.
No, he's
I
saying
think he unmuted.
No problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so if you don't
Audience,
have
if
any
anyone wants
questions,
to ask any questions, you can raise your hand or else you can type in the chat box. Is it that people with sensing are more likely thinking people?
no, it's not like that. So we cannot definitely say that, okay, no, S and P will go together.
Okay, audience, I think there is no questions from your end. After the webinar, we will be sending you on post-webinar mailer, including the recording of the webinar in a YouTube, and you will receive the deck always. The deck also. Someone is asking in the webinar chat that will you be able to receive the deck? Yes, you will be receiving the presentation deck and the recording of the webinar in the post-webinar mailer. And the people who opted for a free demo will be receiving one call from our team for booking your calendars, and you will be getting the free demo. If anyone wants to know more about the Fluid Trail product, which is HR automation product, they can reach out to me through mailer or the contact number that you already have. Thank you, audience. Sir, I think Archie Sharma is having some queries.
Yes, Archie.
Archie Sharma, you can unmute your mic and you can talk.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So my question to you is, sir, how can I use my MBTI results for my personal growth? So suppose my preferences today is different and tomorrow is different. So how many times, how often should I retake my MBTI to know much better? Okay.
So Archie, the basic concept of MBTI is very clear. They say that the personality will not change, right? So it is unlikely that your preference will change today or with no, with time it will not. It's never going to change. So usually, why it happens is they say it is an error in taking the test. So many times we don't see that the right answer. So usually the people make a mistake, commit a mistake that they will give answer which they feel that no, which is preferred by them, or
Yes.
which they think they imagine themselves to be like that. One is real self, one is the perceived self. So if you are not you don't give your you don't take this test properly, so your there is error in the test, right? So maybe you are in an environment where it is cool to be extrovert, so you may be introvert, but you maybe then you say that, okay, yeah, I wanted to be cool, right? I want to appear cool. So this at that point of time, you give answers in such a way that you are extrovert. So the result will show you as extrovert. But later on, maybe after next during the next time when you take this test, it may happen that you think that, okay, no, I will give the realistic answer. So it is not your personality which is changing. It is not your preferences which are changing. It is the way you are attempting the questions. See, the type will be determined based on the questions you attempt.
Hey,
Or
Archie Sharma, I think
which
your doubt
options
has been cleared.
which options you choose.
Yes.
So it is very important when you take the test, you have to be cool. So they said it has to be shoes of approach. You remove your shoes and just be yourself and just do it. You are not doing this test for anybody to impress anyone. So it is very important that you find what is your true self. So remove your shoes and be yourself and then take this test. If you take the test properly every time, then the validity and reliability of the test is very high.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Archie. Sir, Miss Rinni Poppet wants to talk. Rinni Poppet, you can unmute your mic and you can ask your question. Miss Rinni Poppet, I allowed you to talk. You can unmute your mic and you can ask your questions. Okay, sir. I think she is not available.
Okay.
We can wind up the session, sir.
Sure.
Thank you, audience, for the